everybody. Let's all thank Fabri so much for playing us into the room today. Thank you so much, Fabri. So great to be in the room with you. We are here in the middle of our 2-week run of Around the World, where we've sung with a person from a different country every day of the whole 14-day run, which has been super exciting. And today we're blessed to have in the room with us Fabrizio Cammarata coming in from Sicily, Italy. We're so excited to see all of you today and so excited to be here on the Daily Antidotes Day 1984 consecutive days of singing. And super glad that all of you out there on YouTube and on Facebook have joined us here in this space. Thanks for being with us. And let's go ahead and say hi to everybody who's here. And we'll get started with our singing. Today we have, everybody please wave at Fabrizio Cammarata. Nice to have you, Fabri. Glad you're back. I want to thank Candace, who is running tech from Los Angeles, California today. And I want to thank Clelio in Pennsylvania, who is running tech from right next to me. And I would like to say hi to Susan G, coming in from Cincinnati, Ohio, Sydney in San Francisco, Hoda in British Columbia, Kathy in Denver, Colorado, Linda coming in from Orcas Island, Anne is in Maryland, Pauline and William are in Newcastle, UK, Bob, Mabel, and the Bears in Massachusetts, Neil in Boston, Caroline in DC, Sue in Seattle, Washington, Athena in Brooklyn, also running tech for us today. Thank you, Athena, for being with us. And let's see who else I have here. I said Sue in Seattle, Laris in the UK. Thanks for being with us. Carolyn in Boise, Idaho, Sheila in Florida, Kathy coming in from Santa Rosa, California, Ruth and Clive coming in from Birmingham, UK, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Kathleen in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Tony's coming in from San Jose, California, Luda in Victoria, British Columbia. Nice to have you with us today. Let's see who's on my page too. Let's see, it's Linda in California. Susan is coming in from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Deli is also in Maryland. Katie is here from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Nice to see you, Katie. Glad you're here. Katie's a regular host in this room, and we love having you here. Arlene in California, Nancy in Washington State, Marion coming in from Brighton, UK. We have Deb in the room with us. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. And we've got Bob coming in from Albany. And let's see, Nancy, Washington State, Kat in Vermont, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Aloysius in Massachusetts, Kachina and friends coming in from Vermont, Carol in Connecticut, and Louise coming in from British Columbia. Let's all take one deep breath. Yeah. Okay, so it's so nice to be in this space with Fabrizio. Fabri has been singing with us since 2020, like really early on in the pandemic. And it's always magical and fun to be in the room with Fabri. And Fabrizio, welcome back to Daily Antidote. We're happy to see you.
Hello, I'm so happy to be back too. So glad to see you all again.
Woohoo! So I think you have something for us to sing, and we'd love to learn our part and sing with you.
Yeah, it's actually a brand new song, and so this is the part that we are all gonna sing. It would be the chorus plus a little la 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 melody, which goes like this: Ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, o indovinando. Ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando. O indovinando. Lai lai, 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 lai lai. So let's try it once, everybody, this part here, and then I'll sing the whole song with you guys. So it would be ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, o indovinando. Ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, o indovinando. Lai lai, lai lai. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai. Okay, it's a bit long, but I think it's gonna be alright. Yeah. So this is the song. Lava tutto l'acqua di mare, lava tutto via, lava via anche te, e per un po' conviene, ma poi la mente prende per vera una sciarpa rossa, che rossa non era, però ti stava bene. Vita, vita mia, che ti confondi quasi sempre col tuo passato. Mentre mi accorgo di non essermi concentrato abbastanza per fissare l'istante. E adesso non mi resta che ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lava tutto l'acqua di mare, lava tutto via, lo spazio oltre la foto, il suono di una mano. E parlo sempre della memoria perché ne ho poca, che con lo zaino vuoto arrivo più lontano. Vita, vita vera, che ti nutri di tutto ciò che ci divora. E se ci fossimo impegnati anche allora a rischiarcela senza paura di andare a fondo, adesso potremmo almeno ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai. Ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai.
So beautiful, Fabri. That was really magical. So I have not actually looked at what the song says yet. So Ricardo, it's remember? Is that?
Yeah, I mean the translation to it would be something like remembering by inventing, something like that.
Oh,
And it's
beautiful.
basically about that really peculiar, faculty that we have, ability that we have to put creation in our memories, either to make them sweeter or to just give them like a clearer sense, or just to make them more beautiful. Like we're a painter in our own brain, with our memories sometimes. So these are not photographs. These are, things in the making, in the creation. So yeah, that's what it is about.
That's so cool. There's so much amazing science out there, brain science, about memory and about creativity and about dreams and about where these things intersect and how we do shift things. And I remember reading once this really fascinating study where they enacted a fake crime and then they interviewed like the 10 different people who saw it, and everybody had a different version, right? Like, including like height and the weight and the coloration of the person's hair and the which way they ran. Like, so it was like 10 different stories of a thing that actually, had been filmed and could see really honestly what had actually happened, right? So that is a super fascinating thing. Sometimes maybe we also, it's not even necessarily to make the memory more beautiful, it's to make it more palatable, right? Like somehow we have to be able to feel, like we want to stay connected to that memory, or of course, we're talking mostly here about not terrible, tragic, traumatic memories. We're talking about sort of,
Absolutely.
basic
Yeah, yeah,
memories.
yeah.
Um, it, yeah, tell me more. Like, I'm so interested in hearing, whatever fascination you have with the subject.
I know it's like I've always believed that remembering is a creative act, and we never really remember things as they actually happen. So we usually like soften the edges of these memories, and like for example, in the song, I talk about a red scarf that maybe wasn't red, but it looked good on you. You know what I mean? So that's it's I have, and there's another part in the song where I say that I always speak about memory, because mine isn't that good, which is actually true. My memory like is really, really bad in terms of details. I never remember details of any kind. I have a really strong emotional memory, so that stays with me. But like I couldn't say that I've seen that if I met my friend when I met my friend was either yesterday or 3 days ago. So, I mean, that bad I am. But again, it's I mean we're all different in this, I guess, and it's also like the song is also a quiet reminder that the act of remembering doesn't have to be accurate to be somewhat true. So maybe who knows? Maybe the most honest things that we carry in our memory are those that we made up to survive.
That is really awesome. I love that. Also love the idea that, it doesn't matter in so many ways whether the scarf was red or not, right? Unless you're actually trying to buy the same scarf for somebody, the whole point of the memory was not the color of the scarf. And it was generally like the sensation of the experience, right? Which has to do with the emotional side of it. That's really beautiful. And, so tell us whether or not you have like very vivid dreams and you remember them and you write them down, or do you feel like you have a relationship between memory and creativity and dreams?
I use dreams a lot, but I need to write them down if they happen. Like because otherwise, I will just keep a little bit of some emotion in me about that, but I couldn't even say if I had dreamt or not that night. So, like what I usually do, I mean, usually, sometimes I do that. If I wake up right after a dream and I just feel like it, I'll take a piece of paper and write them down, or maybe like record my own voice trying to tell the dream. So I have like my memo voice like directory, which is pretty full of me sounding very, very bad, like with an awful voice right off the bat. And try to just to make up the whole thing, the whole dream, just to remember it. And then the day after I will try and write it down in a proper way, so that I can either use it for my own inspiration, or just use it as just an additional information to know myself better, because that's we speak to ourselves through dreams as well, they say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. I think, there's so much we could talk about if we had 42 hours, because there's this sort of also a sense of like the emotional building blocks and the way that we form as human beings through our experiences. And then the way that we form based on not just the experience, but then of course what we choose to remember about the experience a lot of times, right? Says something about who we are. And I was thinking about also how you were saying, like, I think you said like you don't notice things or something, and I was thinking, the world is made up of all of us very different people, right? And I remember learning pretty young that somebody said, like, oh, you never notice anything to somebody. And what it was actually was that person noticed a whole lot, but it wasn't what interested the first person. So, like, we
Mhm.
all notice the things that also feed into what it is we want to see in the world, or what it is, how we self-define. And this stuff is super fascinating. And it's too bad that we're not the daily antidote of song and science class, because we could keep going, and it would be really fun. So, Fabri, I think you've got some cool stuff going on, and we would love to hear about it.
Yes, I mean, I've talked so much about my new album, in the making and in the recording and all that. Finally, I can say that like in a couple weeks, even, yeah, like in a couple weeks, it's coming out on the 26th of September. It's coming out like on all digital platforms, and there will be vinyls too, and a tour will follow. I'm starting from London and Madrid, and then next year I'm gonna do most of the tour all around Europe and hopefully, US too. It would be just about time.
Great. I think you're going to have a line of us at the door of your concerts in the US, because we've been saying for 5.5 years now, when are you coming? So it is
Yeah,
about time.
exactly.
Anything you want to say about sort of the nature of the album, or anything specific on it that you'd love to just toss out?
Absolutely. It's actually like a concept album. The title is Insularities because it's all centered on the concept of being an island, like in many different ways. Like I am from an island because I'm from Sicily, so that sort of molded my personality in some way, and I tried to investigate on that on myself. But then I found that the island metaphor as well as the archipelago metaphor could really be effective in explaining a lot of like things, like for example in relationships and all kinds of relationships, like family relationships and romantic ones, friend ones, because we are like each of us is an island, and there's a sea between us and the next island, and we choose how to cross that part of ocean, because the ocean is water, is liquid, it's something that it's something that it's like in its own terms it's somewhat unexplicable, and you cannot really foresee how it's going to be to how it's going to be like, if the weather is not good or whatever, if there's waves, is the that part of trying to build a bridge between two islands. It's just something that you have to work on, trying to also take into account the sea, which I like to take as a metaphor of for memory as well, because memory is an ocean. And yeah, and on a deeper level, I like to think also as ourselves as archipelagos, because we have different parts within ourselves, and it's up to us how to make these parts and these islands communicate between each other. And it's a long story, because I got inspired by this psychological framework called internal family systems, where you try to connect yourself with some parts of yourself who are like direct, there's a family within you. You have the father and the child and the mother, which are not necessarily your father figure or your mother figure, or yourself as a child. It's just different parts of your personality that need to come to to communicate with each other. And there's also that member of the family who was always very bad, and maybe taken away from the family and all that. And that's what you have to do. You have to get that guy and just try to forgive him, and to blend them in again.
Beautiful. And I don't know if that's what you just meant, but like there's also that part inside of us, right? And we have to like find that part of ourselves and forgive ourselves for whatever the things are we've done that have been the bad family member. Thank you so much for bringing all of this incredible, like now I'm actually thinking we should call it Daily Antidote of Song and Science, Philosophy, and Poetry class, because that is what I feel like I am experiencing today. So I do want to say I really love also the overlap right now between the island and the archipelago and the way of building bridges and how that relates to one's internal self, one's local community, and also right now this whole global mess that we all find ourselves sitting in. And so I feel like it's just really speaking to everything. And I also want to say that we're going to throw out your next singing of this to our dear friend Peter Amadon, who is a regular host and song leader and a huge supporter of this program, who is in hospice right now. And I saw Peter yesterday and we said a very beautiful goodbye. And I had this thought while I was sitting with him of how while one is dying, one is simultaneously a member of this enormous supportive community that one knows is there, and also so supremely alone, right? Like it is just dying is the act that only you are doing inside of yourself. And so I do want to send this out to Peter with all of the love in the world and the gratitude for having had him on this journey with us. He posted on Carrying Bridge yesterday, and the last 3 lines said something like, I love you all, I love this life, and I am at peace with what comes next. And I thought that was so beautiful, right? Like we love this life, right? And we don't get to control what comes next. And so, Fabri, would you feel
It's
okay about
amazing.
that?
Thank you for sharing this with me.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you so
we'd
much.
love to sing it with you again. Let's sing.
Lava tutto l'acqua di mare, lava tutto via, lava via anche te, e per un po' conviene. Ma poi la mente prende per vera una sciarpa rossa, che rossa non era, però ti stava bene. Vita, vita mia, che ti confondi quasi sempre col tuo passato. Oh. Sorry. Vita, vita mia, che ti confondi quasi sempre col tuo passato. Mentre mi accorgo di non essermi concentrato abbastanza per fissare l'istante. E adesso non mi resta che ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai 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 lai. Lava tutto l'acqua di mare, lava tutto via, lo spazio oltre la foto, il suono di una mano. E parlo sempre della memoria perché ne ho poca, che con lo zaino vuoto arrivo più lontano. Vita, vita vera, che ti nutri di tutto ciò che ci divora. E se ci fossimo impegnati anche allora a rischiarcela senza paura di andare a fondo, adesso potremmo almeno ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai 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 ricordare inventando o indovinando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando, ricordare inventando o indovinando. Lai lai, lai lai, lai lai, lai lai. Lie, 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 lie.
Woo! That is a very beautiful song, Fabri. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful to see everybody singing along. Also, gotta say, not to throw you under the bus, but I love the fact that we're sitting here talking about whether or not you have a good memory, and I think maybe you forgot your lyrics right while you're in the middle of the song, which is completely brilliant.
Exactly.
I
It's just
think you did that on purpose, right?
exactly.
That's
That's what
awesome.
happened.
I love it. I love it. I actually
Don't
thought
worry,
that.
I'm not friends. It's all right, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And we're not recording it anyway, so don't worry. Oh, oops. Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody again so much for being here again. Let's give it up again for Fabri. Thank you so much, Fabrizio, for being with us. We love singing with you. Before we say goodbye to everybody, we're going to do a really quick upcoming and who's just been. So we're in week 2 of our Around the World week. We've sung with a different person. No, with a person from a different country every day for that last week and for this week. So Belmar on Monday from Mexico. It was beautiful. Check it out. Valia yesterday from Ukraine was just very, very weepy. Please check it out. Fabri today coming in from Sicily, Italy. Thank you, Fabri. It was beautiful. Soon Vabrina tomorrow coming in from Sweden. Cheryl Tay on Friday from Malaysia. Saturday, we have Nicolene Snas coming in from Amsterdam. And on Sunday, new to us, Edel Vaughn coming in from Ireland. It's been a great 2-week run. A really perfect time, I think, to be singing with folks from around the world and building those bridges between all the islands, and hearing how folks are thinking in other places, and because we're all thinking about a lot of the same stuff right now. Okay, Fabri's links are in the chat, and please follow them, and we'll try and mark September 26th to remind everybody to pick up Fabri's new album. We're looking forward to hearing it, Fabri, and thanks again for being with us today.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Feel like home with you guys. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Fabri. Feels like home with you too. Um, and all right, so we're gonna wave Fabri out of the room. Thanks, Fabri, so much for taking the time. And let's wave also to everybody out there on YouTube and everybody out there on Facebook. Thanks, gang, for joining us today. And let's say some thanks and goodbyes to everybody in here. Thanks to the fabulous tech team, Athena in Brooklyn, Clelio coming in from Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania, who knows where. And where is Candace coming in from Los Angeles? Thank you so much to all 3 of you for a great day. Susan in Cincinnati, Kathy in Denver, Colorado, Pauline and William in Newcastle. It is fun, isn't it, gang? How, like, in the midst of however we felt coming in here, which could have included sad or heavy or confused, that we find these ways to like laugh and be light and to bring something else into our bodies. Fabri always makes me laugh, so I love it. Bob, Mabel, and the Bears, thanks for being here from Cambridge, Massachusetts, the bunch o' bouncing bears. Neil in Boston, thank you for being here. Caroline in DC, thank you. Sue in Seattle, Laris in the UK with a love sign, Carolyn in Boise, Idaho with a big heart, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Katie in Tacoma Park. I'm kind of thinking, Katie, you hosted Fabri once, didn't you? Am I remembering that right? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, who knows? I forget. No me recuerdo. Linda on Orcas Island, thank you. Kathy in Santa Rosa, California. Ruth and Clive in Birmingham, UK. Bob coming in from Albany, New York. Marion in Brighton, UK. Hoda in British Columbia. Storm in Massachusetts. Deli in Maryland. Sheila in Florida. Susan coming in from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Deb is here for the 3rd time. Deb, thank you so much for coming back. I can't remember if you might have been Tucson, Arizona, or somewhere else, but yes, I got that right. Whoa. Okay, that's a good memory moment. Aloysius in Massachusetts, Anne coming in from Maryland, Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland, Tony coming in from California, Linda in California, Arlene in Berkeley, California, Nancy in Washington State, Kat in Vermont, Jenny coming in from Suffolk, UK. Her screen, I think, says love is always the answer. Very nice. Carol in Connecticut, Louise coming in from Sidmouth, UK. Everybody sending you lots of love. Kathleen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I think we've got everybody. Thanks again, gang, for being here today. We can't wait to see you tomorrow on the Daily Antidote of Song. Lots of love, gang.